Okay, this is the video for coursework support section 5. Within section 5 we'll be looking at the review section, so you will have completed your design ideas and now be at the review stage. Let's have a reminder starting off with our mark scheme and what's expected in the marking grid. So we've done our design ideas, we're now on to this section here which says review. There are less mark boundaries in here. You're pretty much going to fall into either this one, or if you have a blank sheet obviously you're going to get the 0. There are only 4 marks available. This should be fitted onto one sheet as per the guide, and it should be completed within an hour. Let's focus in on our top mark box and see what we have to do in order to have access to this, the top marks, which is 4 marks for this section. So we need to ensure that we have made evaluative comments that are objective against our specification points again, and that we consider, and these things are in bold, so we need to make sure that we have these within our work. User group feedback, in this case, or in our case, it's going to be client feedback. And we're going to need to make sure that we have talked about or looked at the idea that we've produced in terms of its sustainability. Now, because we've included sustainability in our specification points anyway, actually we'll all have sustainability in our grids, and that box will be ticked. Let's look at the page then and how that's going to be set out. It's going to be looking at exactly the same format as before. We're looking at an A3 page, and the format for your A3 page will be the same as all the other sheets you produce. You've got your title here, which is going to be in the same font size, and you've got your border. If you put a border on, you're obviously going to have your border on there. Okay. We've got on our edge our specification points again. Now these should be familiar to us, so they read form, function, sustainability, size, weight, etc. Now some people, when they're setting this grid up, if you've word processed it, simply copy aspects of this from your specification, particularly this side is reading virtually the same as your specification list. The only difference is this point here where we've got client opinion. So you'll remember that the 2 important parts of this that were mentioned specifically in the mark scheme were that section on client opinion and sustainability. So we've got both those points in, and we've got our other specification points as well. Now along the top of this table I've got idea 2, idea 5 and idea 13. Now you'll remember in your design ideas you were looking toward creating 15 separate ideas. Now, within the context of my project, actually, the client liked idea number 2, idea number 5, and idea number 13 the best, and they wanted those ideas reviewed. So they discounted all of the other ideas, and at this stage we're concentrating on thinking about these ideas, idea 2, idea 5, and idea 13. Obviously, within the context of your own project, those numbers could be different, but you want to be looking at reviewing 3 ideas, so your table will look similar to this. We look at the evaluative comments that I've come up with, then simple comments that I've come up with for this first section, which is form. Within idea number 2, which was a pyramid shape, I've made the point that the pyramid shape satisfies the client's requests very well under the form section of my specification. Idea number 5, although it wasn't a pyramid or a triangle shape as such, actually the speaker grille was triangular, as were the control buttons. So this idea is still in the running. Now these are the sorts of evaluative comments that you'll be making within your review table. You'll be looking at your idea, and then you'll be seeing how well that matches the expectation of your specification grid, and you'll be making some comment. The bottom, obviously, is where your client will make comments. So these boxes at the bottom are going to be where they'll actually write something in themselves. And at the end of this review page, you'll then be in a position to know actually which idea you'll be taking forward towards development and then your final design. So each of the cells, and I just haven't finished this here, this will have lines in as well, will have an evaluative comment against your specification points in relation to these different ideas. Okay.